so there we are. We have it installed. MRV is on our hard disk, and the last thing we have to do is to get the external dependencies that are implemented as Git submodules. So we initialize these submodules. So Git will clone them into the right spot. So that means an internet connection again, which is not so super fast here on the virtual machine. As stated before, but it's just small repositories. So let's peek ahead. Let's get a sneak preview of what's coming next. The fun part, actually. Next is to run tmrv and run the tests on a virtual machine on Windows. And the final thing would be to test imrv, of course. Okay, so first I could actually use the git bash here to do it. You can also use the prompt, but now as I am already at the right spot in git bash, I'll just stay here and use it. So let's try to run the test then. Test bin tmrv. So what we have here is the Windows version. Sorry, it's the Linux version. So on Windows, this would look a bit differently. It would look like this. And let's try that actually. Oh no way! I think it's the git bash, so it will do the right thing automatically. Should do. I picked 2011. Oh, Python 2.6 interpreter not found. Trying MyAPI. That will not work because I didn't install nose yet. Perhaps I did, and this actually works for me. But here we see how MRV works. It tries to, oh yeah, I can't scroll back. It will just scroll down. It's a command prompt after all. Don't be fooled. It's just a fake bash. It's a git bash in a way. Now, once that is done, it's not that slow. On OS X it took 18 seconds, and on a virtual machine on Linux with Windows XP it takes 20 seconds. So it would actually be about 10 seconds on a real workstation, I guess. Okay, so that worked for us, but just because it used MyAPI, and on MyAPI I already installed Nose, which is required to run the tests. But I want to use my system interpreter, and it tried to do that. I tried to find an executable in my path, which is called Python 2.6. So let's see what I have in my path. What Python version comes up? Oh, it's actually 2.5, which is the wrong version. Yeah, let's just terminate this. So this is because I think Python 2.5 put itself first in the path. I thought I disabled this when I installed it, but perhaps it actually did it. So we'll fix the path now to make sure Python 2.6 is in the path. You don't really, I mean, you could do it all manually, starting Python 2.6 by providing a full and absolute path, but for MRV, it's important to have the proper version in the path, actually. You just want to put it Python 2.6 somewhere in the path so that one can find it. So first thing we have to do is to copy this exe file and name it Python 2.6. And we could actually name it, or try to name it Python 2.6 as is on Linux, but the Explorer won't let us. It does anyway. It's Python 2.6 on Windows for historical reasons, I guess. And next is to change the environment variables, my computer properties, advanced environment variables, and it's very nice to see that even in my Windows 7 you can't resize this, so that's how I judge Windows versions basically. Can I resize this window? No, so it's still the old thing, and I try not to curse now. And yeah, let's check the path, and here we see that it's Python 2.5 in the path. I want Python 2.6. And to refresh the path, I also have to restart this shell, which is easy enough, I guess. That's all right, I can do that. Good. So trying again, trying to run Python, should give me Python 2.6, it does, and trying to run Python 2.6, which is what MRV does, gives me the same version, so that's fine as well. So now, finally, it's test bin tmrv 2011, and it actually does something. It didn't complain, and it starts using the system interpreter. Let's see whether it's any faster. I don't really believe that, I doubt that, but perhaps it is. It would be great to see that the system interpreter executes Maya stuff faster than MyAPI. Ha! Ha! I don't believe it. I have to try this myself. MRV MyAPI. I force it into using MyAPI right now. And we just don't wait until it's done. Well, we do, because it's just a single core machine. I don't want to kill it. It's a single core virtual machine, to be precise. Okay, it's the same performance. Good. So it's as fast as on OS X, on a virtual machine. That's pretty neat. So let's try MRV. That's why we did all the troublesome stuff, why we went through all the pain. It was less painful though if you have all the files in place and if you know how to do that, but the first time is very painful. So MRV 2011, please. Starting up. And there we go. Now I wrap the perspective transform into node, which is a MRV node now, and we can do all sort of things with it. That's the translate plug, that's the scale plug, that's the we could try to reparent it, we could create a new transform, and under that set parent we put the perspective, and we might just want to undo that. So we undo the set parent, and now a perspective is a perspective again, not as under the parent. And finally, as a little demo here, we delete the node. And the funny thing is we still have a handle on it, we just don't have a name. And if we check, it's actually alive because it's on the undo queue. And is it valid? Oops, it's actually not valid because it's not in the scene. And if we flush the undo queue, now T is gone. We shouldn't try to access it anymore because it really is not even alive anymore and just crashes Maya doing something like this. So it's kind of okay, I knew this, and I want to quit this beautiful session here with a little Maya crash. That is kind of easy to achieve if you use the Maya API incorrectly, so you have to get used to a few things, but it's all in the documentation. So a fun reading, it's just 35,000 words. Goodbye.